This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to an episode of An Anthropologist Watches Foodie Beauty by watching Milk Tea Reacts. And this is 4 hours old as of the recording time, which is the 11th of April. So it's Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday. So as I just got done commenting to the live audience who is watching, Milk Tea is pretty much the only way I interact with Foodie Beauty at all. I haven't watched Foodie straight since she was with BB, and I kind of quit following Foodie as much as I follow the other girls back when Foodie was doing the whole Natter cycle thing. That was too much. But this whole revert conversation, this whole revert storyline, and this going back and forth from Canada thing, it's starting to catch my attention. I kind of want to apply the dark anthropology thing that I'm trying to make happen, like Fetch, to Foodie, and I just want to see. Honestly, I want to see how long I can tolerate it before I tap out, because it's too much. So we'll see. And I figured watching Foodie through Milk Tea as my first official reaction would be kind of a soft way to get used to it. Also, I'm pretty sure that the one that she's reacting to is more of one of Foodie's like everyday vlogs, which she does a whole lot. She performs a whole lot more in those. Like, she's more concerned about projecting this Miriam image that she's making, this Miriam character. She's more concerned about performing properly as Miriam when she does these daily vlogs than she is when she's doing her rages, which are, for lack of a better term, classical Chantel. So, and I think going forward, I'm gonna kind of sit still for a second. I think I'm going to refer to things that way. Like, when she's being Miriam, when she's being the Muslim revert that she's trying to convince us all that she is, I feel, personally, referring to her as Miriam is a good idea. When she's doing her little rants and her mukbangs and that kind of crap, that's Chantel. So it's an easy way to kind of keep the various Foodie Beauty personalities separate. I was kind of torn about doing it because I'm of the opinion, if somebody tells you to call them something, call them that. But it's just, I don't like Foodie. So there you go. That's also something you should probably know going into this. I don't like Foodie Beauty. I think they're a terrible person, which is another reason why I've avoided reacting. So I'm going to try to stay as unbiased as I can be, or at least I'm going to try to tone the snark down as much as humanly possible and try to be somewhat objective. But if she hits some of my trigger points, which she might, I can't guarantee I won't get crabby. All right, another thing to put out here. Milk Tea has 14.7K subscribers, according to this, which I know is not accurate. It's off by some. This video is 4 hours old. It has 487 views. So this is half as old as Alexander Rodriguez's and has 709 likes. 710 likes, which is only 100 less than Alexander Rodriguez had. No, I didn't take my like away. How dare. Just throwing numbers out there. Milk Tea has, what, a fourth or less? Way less. My math is terrible. Milk Tea has a fraction of the followers that Alexander Rodriguez has. She has a fraction of the views. The video is 4 hours old, and it already has almost as many likes as Alexander Rodriguez's videos do. And it's blowing Amber's out of the water. All right, let's get started. If this is too fast, I'll slow it down.
Hello, T-Nabs, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. How have you been? I know we weren't expecting to see each other because Foodie obviously permanently quit YouTube.
Right.
But here we are.
As she does.
How have you been these past few days?
Girl, let me tell you, we do not have enough time.
Just went to the mall and got I had to get some more setting spray. I used the Fix Plus by MAC, and what's the primer I use? NYX. They have like a jelly primer, which I know is very much kind of past its trend, but I just like it so much.
All of my products are e.l.f. That I think it's a gel primer as well that the e.l.f. uses, but it's like super glue and it's perfect and I love it. I get the pink variety because it's got is that the one with the hyaluronic acid in it? Either way, that's the one I recommend, but they're all good. And e.l.f. also has a really nice setting spray. I do not recommend getting the SPF setting spray that e.l.f. also has because it is way too greasy. It's a really good spray sunblock, so get it for that aspect, but I would not use it as a setting spray.
It's the Bear With Me one. And I got, one of these things. These ridiculously useful but cute
Oh my god, I look at these all the time and I kind of want to get one.
3D miniature things, puzzles. They're not something I usually do, but I went into Miniso because I like to go around because they're so cute. They have these little Lego Japanese style streets and shops and things. But
not gonna lie, I am tempted to buy those. I'm moving into a new space and I'm thinking I kind of want to do like an Alex's Shook thing, only I want to use all of those really cute little like the Asian scenes, like the flower shop and the tea shop, and I forget what the other ones are, but I don't know. Put my own spin on it, but yet still flying my Lego freak flag.
But it was a little too amberlin coded for me. But I've been wanting to give these 3D things a try because they have these lovely, what are they called? Bookends. When they look like a little street when you go in. Very cute, but they looked very small because they're all going to be very fiddly. So I'm going to give that one a try, and if I like it, I might treat myself to another. If I don't, Sometimes you need pretty but useless things in your life. So I've just gone back from there because it's Eid. Eid has started. Eid Mabruk for anyone celebrating.
True. Happy Eid. And now you know everything I know.
But it means you can actually go and drink in public. So I went out of coffee. I've got another one here because I'm tired today. Don't know what's going on. No reason for it.
Eid is the official end of Ramadan, is it not?
I'm just sleepy. And because we've just ended the financial year, I actually filed my taxes yesterday, which I know is something we don't do here in Galwell, but there we go. So lots of useful, practical things in life and a couple of less practical ones. But anyway, Foodie's had a less pleasant time. As I predicted in my last react, she has come back looking for sympathy. She did an ERBs with us, and she has put out not quite a vlog called I Spent a Day in the Hospital. I do find it a little bit amusing that she rage quit YouTube, obviously intending to come back and take advantage because she was going to need to, and then the universe was like, okay, if you insist, and then she couldn't come back because she was sick.
See, I don't even like delivering to hospitals. I mean, I will, but I hate it. It's one of the few places I'll still wear a mask because the hospitals give me the heebie-jeebies.
I don't know why I find it funny, but I feel like that's a universal justice. I was going to say who else had medical emergency or ERBs on the bingo card, but I think DX literally did on Twitter. I think it was like medical emergency.
I need to find this bingo card.
So there we go. But let's get into the video, shall we?
I like this intro. I'm not going to lie. I love the little 8-bit thing of it. And I love at the end when she goes, hello, foodie beauties. I love this intro.
Hello, foodie beauties.
Oh, nope. Sorry, I should have cut that first.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video.
Oh, that is
Today we are starting with
low BMI voice ASMR, trying to be in on the joke. Look guys, I didn't rage and quit YouTube ridiculously. I never do that. I'm in on the joke. Look, I'm totally in control of people laughing at me on the internet.
That's not what I meant to do.
random mini travel vlog to upstate New York, in particular Messina. First we had to pass through the Akwesasne Mohawk Reserve though, and then cross a bridge to get to the USA border.
Let me didn't show us any of the reserve. God, it looks a bit depressing, doesn't it?
Foodie's like Amber when she goes out, in that all of the things that you would actually find interesting to look at are the exact things they don't film. So you get these weird, like, don't get me wrong, I like driving footage. It's fine as long as the entire thing isn't driving footage. Even though I do watch that train that just drives for 10 hours straight and does absolutely nothing but go forward. Leave me alone. But, I mean, if you're going to talk about all these cool places that you're going to go, could you at least show them to me? Like, isn't that the point?
I mean, it's a border crossing. What am I expecting?
Fireworks.
At least she's got a passport this time. Do you remember last time when she was trying to get over the border and didn't have any ID?
Sorry, I do make cracks at Canada, and it's nothing personal. I expect the same amount of shit back that I give to Canada, so feel free.
COVID just to make it better.
Okay, we made it through.
Hooray!
Right. Sonic, here we come.
I had no specific
Oh, Sonic. That is another one of the evil places I'm not allowed to go unsupervised.
reason to come here today.
Yes, you did. Sonic and all fast food.
I just like checking it out every few years to see if anything has changed. Like,
What, anything on the menu? You're only doing this road and to the closest shopping lot, mall, whatever. Like, what do you think is going to have changed?
also love driving around to nowhere and anywhere at any given time.
I do like a good random road trip. I love day trips to places that are not meant to be day trip places. I like the rest stops along the way of the interstate. Like, I'm that guy.
Especially when it leads to food.
Is Dollar General like a really good dollar store?
I think it's a very prolific dollar store. And we've got a water tower. Yes, you're definitely here.
Alright, so we have here a little shopping mall.
Wouldn't even go to like a big shopping mall with people. Went to a strip mall.
All right, Lee, you're losing points. 2011 is not ancient. Thank you very much.
A Chinese buffet, a cinema,
So that's the reason she's there at the buffet.
big lots. Interesting.
Interesting. What a shock. Is this where the Sonic used to be?
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I made it through. I'm seeing a Dollar General, I'm seeing an Ollie's, I'm seeing all these American places. I'm so excited. Okay, I have Sonic here, okay?
Look, I'm from America. Really? The most exciting thing you can think of in America is like Ollie's, Sonic, and I forget what the other place was. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff here, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're a very young country, but we got some really cool shit.
She had no reason to go over the border except fast food. That was the reason she gave us last time. It's the reason she's got this time. So when she looks around like, oh, this looks interesting. What a surprise. I've just come across this place. No, she...
Ghostbusters, Godzilla vs. Kong, Arthur the King? Immaculate. Oh, I heard Immaculate's like, that's a horror movie. I've heard very good things if you like horror movies, but it is rough. So, what is that? First Omen. Do they also play like Kung Fu Panda 4? Okay, that's what that said. What's the other one? Motley Man? Cat's Life. Epic Tales.
She's gone for a reason.
Alright, so this is what's playing at this cinema. Is this old movies? I can't tell.
Kung Fu Panda 4. Is that an old movie? Do you know how long it's been since I've been to the movies? A long time.
I don't think they're
Kinda
old
meant to go
movies.
see Dune 2 and didn't.
Ghostbusters is new.
So I didn't notice this until it was too late, that the crappy gas station car charger I purchased wasn't working and therefore wasn't charging my phone this whole time.
Ah,
All right, so to add my own input to this and not just be commenting every time Milk Tea talks, then the voice, because I was like, oh, she's whispering. And I'm like, no, that's not the whisper voice. That's now she did use this low, kind of husky, whispery voice before she reverted, but when she's trying to be serious Miriam, this is Miriam's voice. So when we're hearing this, which I'm assuming we're going to hear quite a bit of it, this is her portraying Miriam, what she thinks. Because remember, we talk a lot about, or we should be talking a lot about online personas and the way that the girls like to project their online persona. And that despite what we the audience may think, we can't really know what IRL whoever is. All we get to see is the internet version, is the video version of these girls. And yeah, I'm not saying that they can't be the same thing. I'm just saying we cannot make the assumption that they are, even though it's perfectly okay if you want to. But to look at this from an actually academically kind of sort of way, we need to pretend like we can't, this is unknowable. This is unknowable. All we can know is what we're being shown, right? So with Foodie is not anywhere near as curated as like Anna from Glitter and Lasers or even Amberlynn. But with the inception of, or I used the right word, I think. With the creation of Miriam, Foodie has half-assedly tried to curate Miriam the character. And part of Miriam is soft-spoken. Miriam is humble. Miriam is religious. Miriam is respectful of stuff. Miriam has a husband. That's very important. Miriam is married to someone who loves her unconditionally. All right. So these are all traits that Miriam has. And I think Miriam is like a higher self projection for Foodie. Miriam is what Foodie would have liked to have been given different circumstances. So when we hear this softly spoken, kind of husky voiced Miriam, that's, I think, what Foodie kind of thinks the perfect woman would sound like, I guess. I'm not saying actual Miriam is perfect. It's still Foodie. But that is Foodie's attempt at a total different person, a not Chantel. That's who Miriam is. Miriam is not Chantel. Are we successful at this? Not in my opinion, but the attempt has been made. But anyway, all of that was to explain, when we hear this kind of a husky voice, this husky whispery voice, we're not hearing Chantel. This is not Chantel. We are hearing Miriam. Both of which are Foodie Beauty. This is going to get complicated, and I apologize, but this is the way this is how it goes. This is it.
Professional YouTuber. Didn't she buy, and I do realise it's been a few months since she's been back, she could have easily lost it, but didn't she buy a charger last time and it was a little expensive? Or is that maybe last time she went over the border, which would have been a few years ago? Not a big deal, but dude, vlogging was literally your only job.
So at some point my battery died, and that's why the vlog of the Messina was no more. But I didn't want to waste the whole trip, so I'm still sharing the clips I have.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that this was done previously, like, because she's about to go into her medical emergency. So this was a vlog she maybe did while she was off for that week when she was banned. If she's been that sick for the last few days and the way she's been sick, like, I find it unlikely she would have done a trip to New York. So I guess this is all we get. And instead of just saying, okay, this footage didn't work out, she...
That's New York? Like the state? Man, there's like a lot of really cool stuff in New York. Like the state, not the city. There's a lot of cool shit in the cities too, but it's a little bit further away from the border than where she's at. I just feel like she kind of pulled off to the first like truck stop she came across and was just like, oh my God, America's so cool. And now that I say that, I mean, it probably is a better portrayal of America overall than going to some of the cooler places in America would actually be. So I guess point taken. If you hear noise in the background, that's my partner moving around.
She just needs it for content.
Sorry guys. Anyways, unfortunately, things recently have taken a bit of a toll for the worse, health-wise. Hello. So...
Okay, I'm going to try and turn this up if you can't.
Turn up the volume. Headphones are best. Why? What are you going to do that I need stereo for?
Hear it, I'm really sorry. But we are where we are, unfortunately. You might get more background noise than you do her.
As you can see, I'm in the ER beezing. I have norovirus, or the bad stomach flu.
That sounds... One, like, I know norovirus is horrible. I had it once in Indonesia and it just took me out. But particularly for Foodie, who already has those problems and doesn't really have the dexterity to help herself quickly.
I know what she's saying, and it's gross. I remember other reasons why I wasn't crazy about Foodie.
Like, that's going to have been a mess, figuratively and literally. Do you remember when she had, was it C. diff? And, like, she couldn't use the sample, she had to use that like, kind of nun's cap? Like, this can't have been an easy experience.
The contagious one? I don't know where I got it.
I want to know if her family are also sick, because if it's highly contagious, it's possible she caught it off the family, but if not, she's caught it on a trip, because that's the only explanation, otherwise her family would have it as well.
As a small point of fact, these are the NHS guidelines for people with norovirus in the UK, and when they deem it an emergency, I kind of love the fact that they have to link to what we mean by severe pain it could not suggest don't waste our time any more strongly. That's the other thing. You can usually treat yourself or your child at home. The most important thing is to rest and have lots of fluid and avoid dehydration. You will usually start to feel better in 2 to 3 days. Yeah, but how bad do I feel in those 2 to 3 days is the real question. Like, is it one of those things where if you don't call somebody over to take care of you, you might just die? Or is it one of those, like, you're going to survive, but you're going to be the walking dead? Or is it somewhere in between? School, nursery, or work. Stay off school or work until you have not been sick or had diarrhea for at least 2 days. This is when you are most infectious. Do not visit hospitals or care homes during this time. Or go to A&E if you or your child vomit blood or have vomit that looks like ground coffee. Life goals. Never have these things. Have green vomit in adults. Have yellow or green... I'm sorry, guys. I should probably have said something before I started reading this out loud. Might have swallowed something poisonous. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with the neurovirus? Have stiff neck and pain when looking at bright lights. I mean, that's a migraine, so... Have a sudden severe headache or stomach ache. Again, migraine. And then the link, what do we mean by severe pain? It's a 10 on the Richter scale. That's what it means.
I mean, there were many reasons she shouldn't have crossed the border for food, but I guess this was also one of them.
Wait, did she have this when she crossed the border?
I never get it again. It is the worst
It
illness.
does knock you out.
I swear, it's disgusting.
But you do have to, like, clean everything down because it is so contagious. So her poor family, like, having to disinfect the entire house.
Ugh.
And what about her car? Like, she's not going to clean her car out properly.
So I became severely dehydrated, and so I got sick about...
She doesn't drink enough fluids in general, and when she does drink fluids, they're like sugary things. Wow, look at her eyes. I think I just paused, unfortunately, but... Yeah, so she's probably dehydrated on a good day, and I can only imagine what something that's like fountains out both ends is going to do to somebody who's already dehydrated to start.
I don't know, maybe 3 days ago. I don't
So right about the time she quit YouTube.
remember exactly when. A few days ago, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I had to throw up. TMI, by the way.
I mean, the whole thing is TMI, but that's what happened to me. I got sick and I woke up feeling kind of uncomfortable. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to be sick. And that was the beginning of an unfortunate night.
And then...
I only make that face because I did actually wake up nauseous the other day. I mean, a few weeks ago the other day, but that was the end of it.
the other end, diarrhea. Severe diarrhea.
And if she's at her parents' house, she probably doesn't have her own bathroom. Because at least, like, when she was in the villa, her and Pete's had their own bathrooms. Like, oh, God, nothing. I know she didn't do it on purpose, but nothing but trouble, man.
So
Sorry.
vomiting, diarrhea, muscle weakness, just fatigue. And I'm very dehydrated. My sodium and the chloride, I don't know, my electrolytes were bad.
Yeah, see, that would be my major concern with that level of dehydration would be like your electrolytes going out of balance, because that will hurt you. That can potentially like take you out like forever to the farm upstate, if you will. So I can see how this could potentially become serious. Keep in mind though, Foodie is not exactly like a healthy person to start off with, so I have a sinking suspicion if you are someone who is of decent health and you catch this, it sounds like you're just going to live through hell for 3 days or so, but you're probably going to make it. I can see how this could potentially be very serious for someone like Chantel, who is already kind of like chilling on death's doorstep and, you know, is just kind of waiting for the door to open.
I couldn't keep enough water in, like fluids in, at the rate they were going out. It's bad. It's bad.
Foodie Beauty has cheated death so many times. She's got to have like a record. It's just it's insane. If she had put this level of luck to use in any other aspect of life, she would be like Bezos level of like rich, you know? But no, this is what we've done with a truly blessed life. I didn't say it was blessed for the best, but nothing's taking her out, man. Atomic blast will land. There will be cockroaches and Chantel.
Don't come near me. You'll catch it.
It looks like she was talking to somebody over the camera at that point, but it feels weird that she'd be filming this in front of somebody.
Anyway, just a quick update. I'm doing alright other than that.
We're just completely ignoring the fact that she wasn't going to come back.
You know. Oh no, the arm cuff thing. It hurts.
I hate the whine she does. I hate it.
Look, man, the arm cuff's not that bad. I'm even terrified of doctors, and the arm cuff's not that bad. I can't 100% say that the way she's acting right now is Miriam, or if it's just she sounds kind of tired, she looks kind of tired, and if she really is going through this, which I mean I have no reason to not believe she is, I'm sure it's probably taking quite a bit out of her. She's fortunate. If she is staying at her parents' place, she's fortunate to have someone there to kind of keep an eye on her, just because, like, again, I could see how this could go south very quickly for someone like her. But it is entirely possible that she's playing it up. Chantel has been called out more than once, specifically by Milk Tea, and I know by others, for just kind of manifesting ailments when it is fortuitous for her to do so. I'm not saying that, like... Well, I am kind of saying that she would fake this, but it seems very specific. So she's probably not faking it, is what I'm saying. Like her sciatica pain. I'm not saying she doesn't have sciatica pain. I'm just saying, like, you know, it might pop up sometimes when it's not actually happening, kind of a thing. I feel like this one might be a little rough to kind of fake, especially if you're at the hospital, especially since they don't want to deal with you if you're not actually hurt or sick, you know? Like, we're a hospital. Go away. Go see a doctor to take care of this.
The blood pressure cuff. Let's see what my blood pressure is.
I have no idea what 109/69 is.
That's low. Really? That's like super low. I guess it's still in the normal range. Okay. That's just, that seems low. That seems low. But maybe I'm just used to her blood pressure being so freaking high that when it's in the normal range, it seems low. Because this says less than 120 and less than 80. So she's like, what, 109/69? That's well within the normal. Wow. What does that say, man? She has to get like this sick in order for her blood pressure to drop? And you would only know that if you were like watching her. So these doctors are like, hey, you've got a normal blood pressure, not realizing that her blood pressure's dropped significantly. That's why you go to the same doctor all the time. And you go to the doctor, which, you know, pot calling the kettle black. I'm supposed to go to the doctor and I don't want to go. And I'm dragging my feet because I'm a 5-year-old. But where were we? Here we are. All right. Well, so, I mean, on the chart, that's a normal blood pressure. However, for Foodie, I don't think that's a good sign.
Tell me if it's good or bad somewhere in the comments if you've got any clue.
I mean, technically it's good.
I don't know what's going on. Anyways.
That could explain why she's so lethargic, though, honestly. If her blood pressure's dropped that significantly in a short amount of time. So, here's the problem. We know that because we've been watching her forever and a year. Her doctor, or whoever's trying to treat her, doesn't know that because she doesn't go enough. Also, I think most of her medical records are in Kuwait right now, and you know she hasn't had them transferred because that would be smart. Whatever. This is one of those. This is another reason why I kind of couldn't keep watching, because it's just like I have a list in my head of who's gonna go first.
So I gotta get a whole bunch of fluids. Going to the bathroom is torture because I have to unplug everything and take this thing with me into the bathroom.
So here's the thing, and this is TMI, so apologies, but it's a gross topic of conversation, and here we are. If she's got this and it comes on suddenly, which I would expect it does, from my experience, it comes on suddenly.
Good to know.
How is she going to have the time to unhook everything and get herself to the bathroom? I mean, even when she doesn't have this problem, she has trouble controlling her digestive system.
That's a polite way of putting it, yes.
Like, I just can't see her successfully unhooking herself and getting there, especially with how kind of awkward it is for her to move in general and not end up having accidents.
I don't have anything to add. I don't have anything to add. I'm just processing everything in a horrific way inside my head. I'm glad you're all here to enjoy this with me. We will all suffer together. Jeez. Ooh, all right.
I'm tired.
Oh, that's right. Rocky's Whoopi. She did say that her electrolytes were like really low. So yeah, that would probably drop the BP, wouldn't it? I mean, in my head, that makes sense. I'm not a doctor. I'm just tying myself up into a pretzel down here.
Tired all the time, so I'm just trying to get better, and then we should be able to do a bit of beasting. Yeah, I'm very dizzy. I'm just weak. They want me to try to tolerate food I haven't eaten, and
Norovirus skinny legend.
I bet she has lost some weight. I mean, it's literal water weight, but it's still weight. The body probably still happy to have it off, but if she's feeling weak and she's feeling dizzy, if her electrolytes are out of whack, which, I mean, this is the exact point that we were studying. Minnesota Starvation Project came up with, that like the electrolytes was what was causing the problems with refeeding. It's kind of the same thing here. I'm not saying Chantel has starved in any capacity, but the imbalance of the electrolytes is what caused the refeeding syndrome, apparently. My points are, her sodium's low, as someone pointed out in the chat. That's why, that could potentially be why the blood pressure was so low. If her blood pressure is significantly low for her, that's also going to contribute to lethargy and dizziness. And I mean, I know everybody's like, oh, she needs to quit eating. She doesn't need to quit eating. She just needs to clean eat. And so if she hasn't eaten in a while and she's basically emptied herself out both ends of everything that could potentially be in her stomach, she probably does need some calories just to get the brain going. It's a perfect storm of really bad stuff.
I mean, every cloud has a silver lining, eh?
like, since being sick, pretty much, I tried having like an apple because I don't know where people come up with like ginger ale soda when you're sick. There's
Oh man, ginger ale, that's like my go-to, but I'm also Southern, so I'm a Southern Northerner.
nothing I want less than soda.
I've got no idea if ginger ale actually has real ginger or just the flavourings in, but I'm guessing ginger ale came from the fact that ginger does settle the stomach.
If you get the right ginger ale, it does actually have ginger in it, but you have to get the right one. And I don't think the one that comes in the green can has ginger in it anymore, like real ginger. So that's unfortunate, because it used to.
But if there's one thing I'm with Foodie on, and there aren't many things in life, it's that I don't drink soda generally. It's not something I enjoy, but when I'm sick, I want water that is so cold it hurts. I want to feel it hit my stomach, and that makes me feel better.
Oh no, that would make me nauseous right off the bat.
My wedding ring fell off in the shower. That's because I'm being a skinny queen from the norovirus.
I'm not sure I believe that, but it's a weird thing to lie about, but Chantel lies, so...
Chantel is a lying liar that lies. Her ring falling off in the shower. I don't know. I mean, follow my logic. If Chantel is usually bloated, which I have no reason not to believe she isn't, 90% of the time, And that would mean when the ring was purchased and fitted, it was fitted for Chantel's physique at that moment. If she's been squeezing herself out both ends like a lemon, she's probably lost some mass. And so, I mean, I could see it happening is kind of my point. So that's my point. I could see that happening. Chantel is a lying liar lies. She may have heard that from somebody else on the internet who had that experience, and she's like, ah, yes, that'll convince them. So
She's a lying lie that lies for absolutely no reason. I've been in hospital when I've been on some of those bags, and I know that she has been super dehydrated, but sometimes the bags can make you kind of swell up a little bit, so I'm not sure which one would win there. But let's, for the sake of this conversation, say her ring did fall off. If anything, doesn't that show you how swollen she is all the time? How much the sodium and all the terrible things she eats affects her? That we saw how tight that ring was, and then just not being able to eat for a few days and your electrolytes being low, it allows it to come off.
I don't think, if we are going with the pretend that this is true, I don't think the lack of food and the electrolyte imbalance is causing the ring to fall off. I think it's like I said. I think she's just chronically bloated all the time, and just the inherent nature of the norovirus is that she's dehydrated. And again, she's dehydrated on a good day. So you just kind of like wring that sponge out and it's gonna flatten out some. And I think that would be why why the ring fell off. She hasn't lost weight. She's lost water. And so that's why we're here. Assuming we are actually here. I mean, she's in the hospital. Is she being admitted? I don't know. They're taking her blood pressure. They've probably hooked her up to a line. I mean, I think that's what she was saying. She's hooked up to some IV. So they're taking it seriously enough to stick her with some things. But
like I said, might not be true that it happened. By default, I tend to not believe anything that comes out of her mouth. But if it did, like, wouldn't that be cause for thought in general?
Right.
I'd do some cameos for my hospital bed.
Ooh.
One time.
A little bit desperate for money, are we? Like, being in hospital would be a completely valid reason to not do cameos. But I guess I've never done a cameo. I've never, like,
The spiteful, horrible person inside of me desperately wants to get a cameo from Chantel. The not terrible person in me goes, no, let it go.
asked for a cameo or requested one. But I guess, do they expire after a certain amount of time? Because she was probably intending to make content this whole time. Whether she remembered to film or a battery died or whatever, we don't know. It does show a certain level of incompetence that would be true to character. Or it could just be laziness, or it might not have happened. We don't know. But that is 3 days where she has not had content, and this is coming off the back of the week when she was banned. And I know she's raged out about sharing her PayPal, sharing her Cash App, sharing whatever it is she was sharing.
You know what I'm actually kind of irritated about? Because she got banned right when that second episode of Mr. Snowflake's Chantel series came out, we never got to have the Chantel meltdown that I wanted. I wanted that. Again, I'm a terrible person and I don't like Chantel. So I was waiting for it. And when I found out she got banned right when that video came out, I was like, gosh darn it. Like, it's a good video, and I really wanted her to go off on it because I wanted to go off on her going off on the video. And now I don't even get that. I've been robbed. Thanks, YouTube.
But I'm guessing the thought of her paycheck next month is becoming worrying.
Anyway. Not fun.
This is sped up, by the way. And I'm almost positive Milk Tea has her sped up as well. So I just want to point out how incredibly slow Chantel is talking. Putting that out there.
No, did you guys get the gastro this year? I haven't had that in forever. Oh my gosh.
Lucky she had the Canadian healthcare system supporting her when she doesn't pay for it, hey?
Seriously, it is the worst, man.
What's it like having, like, healthcare where you can just, without a thought, go in to get it and not have to worry about it? Like, what's that like? Someone tell me. It sounds like paradise.
So, it feels like a hangover times 10. That's what it feels like. Ew. So yeah, I didn't want saltines and ginger ale. Like, I wanted juicy fruit because I was so thirsty.
I'm sure the doctors appreciated her second guessing what she should eat while she's in hospital with a gastric issue.
Juicy fruit is a gum where I'm from, so I'm guessing it's not in Canada. So if someone could fill me in on that one, I'm assuming it's a drink of some variety.
How about you just listen to the people that are bringing you stuff? How about that?
Anyway, my blood sugar's through the roof even though I didn't eat. The doctor's like, well, it's probably because of the stress of being sick and if you have like a virus or infection, you know.
Did you tell the doctor that you've been binging your face off since you got back to Canada and that your last trip out was to a Chinese buffet? Because I don't imagine that helps your blood sugar either. And her fasting blood sugar has been terrible for a long time. So how much is she sharing with the doc? Does the doc know that she's on medication for her diabetes? Or is she taking her medication for her diabetes? Because her sugar's being through the roof. And that's an interesting phrase because we have had her share sugars before in...
I feel like a TikTok reactor. All of this. The doctor doesn't know any of the problems that Chantel has, and she has significant health issues. Like, I remember when she mentioned her initial blood sugar reading when she was still in Kuwait, and again, I apologize for this freeze frame, but even I was like, the what? The what? The doctors, there's no way that the doctors can know what's going on. And so they can't be treating her properly, no fault of their own. Like, again, with the blood pressure, that's not normal for her. That's a big drop. That'd be a big drop for me. And I'm fine as far as my blood work's concerned. So I'm just like, but they don't know that. They don't know what her baseline is. She probably doesn't even know what her baseline is.
like the early 20s, 23, was it? So is it worse than that for her to say through the roof when her normal baseline is so high? We don't know. Maybe she'll share that later because, you know, medical information isn't private.
Anyway, I just wanted to update you guys. I'm sorry, but
You're sorry?
I don't know what will be going on, how long I'll be here for.
Forever. You live here now.
In case the doctor's coming. Yeah, so I keep coming and checking my electrolyte levels, my blood sugar, stuff like that. So I'll keep you guys updated. Sorry for the bad quality video, but
Usually she has really good quality videos.
Chantel's another one of the reactor. Well, okay. Chantel's like Amber. Chantel's been online almost as long as Amber has been. Or I've at least been watching them both the same amount of time, I think. And Chantel's production quality and editing quality, video quality overall, has not improved at all. The only thing in either Chantel or Amber's videos that has changed over the amount of time that they have been online is the literal camera quality, only because their phones have gotten better over the years, and that's just inherently the camera quality has gotten better. It's not like they went out to find a better camera so that they would have higher quality video. Their sound is still questionable at best sometimes. The editing is, well, for Chantel, basically non-existent. It has not improved at all, which tells you a lot of things about them as creators. Like, they have no drive to make better videos, either content or quality wise. They don't, Chantel especially does not see a point in editing. As a matter of fact, Chantel prefers like a very minimalist editing, if she edits at all. And there's a time and a place for those kind of videos. Like, some people really do like just raw footage. Like, y'all are here watching this now. But when you put out a finished, polished product that you want YouTube to send out to as many people as possible, because again, the name of the game is eyeballs, especially for these two. This is their job. You want something that when people land on it, they're like, oh, this is engaging, the quality's good, I can hear what's going on, and I kind of like the personality of the person in the video. That's what you want. I'm assuming that's why Alexandra Rodriguez does as well as she does, because as fake as she feels, she pulls it off well. You know, and her camera quality is good, and her editing is decent, and the lighting and the sound is fine. It's another reason why I don't really react to her, because, like, other than just being nitpicky, I don't really have a lot against Alexandra Rodriguez, other than the health at every size shit and currently the bullshit she's doing with her pregnancy, but you know, I've said my piece there. So, but that's my point here though, is this doesn't improve. This is good for Chantel, which is sad. She's been online for how long? You know, Chantel and Amber, it's not even that they want to have better videos. They think what they have is fine. They don't see a need to improve. They think they're perfect as they are. And the rest of us are just being whiny. Well, we're being whiny all the way to the bank and you're seeing a dip in your income. Don't you think that would be a wake-up call? But logic.
I just want to sleep till this is over. Honestly, it's the worst feeling. I can't even think of food.
Uniga, exactly. Amber has a better camera. She just won't use it. Because she doesn't think she needs to.
Yeah, I know you're thinking, well, this is just what you need. Maybe.
I don't think anyone needs norovirus, but if you're, like I said, if you're going to go for silver linings, this is at least one.
Yeah, my wedding ring fell off in the shower. I'm skinny now. I'm definitely not putting any crap in my body after this, the way I feel.
Okay, question, and again, I'm guessing
Press X to doubt.
because she made a mess. If she is overnight in the hospital, she would have driven herself and then she said spent a day in the hospital, so I guess an overnight. Why would she be showering there? And it might be if it's norovirus, they would just like shower everything, you're contagious, whatever. But I don't know, I've got a feeling that she had an unpleasant incident.
Not Chantel. Chantel would never defecate all over herself. Ever. Multiple times. And then tell us about it in graphic detail. That would never happen.
I don't think I can tolerate it, honestly. They want me to try to tolerate something before I leave here, so who knows what that will be. I can't. Anyways, guys.
But whining. I don't know, maybe if you tried the food the doctors are trying to give you, maybe that.
Yay for norovirus.
You know, I don't particularly like saltines, and, you know, I really only like ginger ale when I'm not feeling well. Like, it is a go-to, kind of like chicken soup. I'm not a huge chicken soup fan unless I don't feel good, and then it's like the only thing I want. Again, Southern Northerner. But yeah, that's kind of my point that I was going towards. Saltines and ginger ale will solve a lot of weird problems that you would not expect when it comes to like digestive issues. And I don't know if it's just like an accidental magical combination or if somewhere someone bequeathed magical knowledge down upon our grandparents and was like, you must eat of the saltine and drink of the ginger ale and you shall be healed. Like, I don't know if that's really what happened, but it's kind of what works. So I don't know if the doctors are saying eat the saltines and drink the ginger ale, eat the saltines and drink the ginger ale. The worst it's going to do is hit your stomach like lead, which is what everything else is going to do anyway. Why not just use the thing that you know works? It's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like the way it tastes. It's medicine. Just view it as medicine.
Ew. I have to have my own washroom because it's contaminated from me because it's so highly contagious. Anyway, I'm gonna try to rest. And I'll just see you guys when I see you, I guess. I don't know.
I thought you quit YouTube, Foodie. You don't need to see us at all. I don't know if she's hoping for a lot of super thanks in the comments. Just add sympathy. As soon as she's physically able, she will go live and try and milk the sympathy.
I'll try to update you guys as I can. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
So they ended up having to give me a total of 6.
It's not my ceiling, but I mean, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with, I guess.
Of these fluid bags for rehydration.
Hi guys! I just wanted to give an update basically on, you know, I left kind of hanging in the ER, so I have been discharged. I was discharged in like the middle of the night, and I actually feel a lot better today. So basically I was just really dehydrated, like a lot. So basically they gave me like a few liters of fluid anyways. I've been...
Could you imagine if this had hit her while she was in America? Like...
Yes, and I can tell you exactly what would have happened. There's a chair over there. Have you filled out your paperwork yet?
being in a state where she can't drive long distances because she's incapable, she's throwing up and she's crapping herself, but then having to go to the American hospital and pay for this, oh, that would have been interesting.
Drinking, I picked up some
I'd watch that. I'd watch that rage, because that's what that would end up being. I would watch that.
Gatorade, but it's like a healthy Gatorade, because when I'm ill, Gatorade is like real Gatorade is too artificial for me, and that's why
Her body is a temple.
I don't like ginger ale either when I'm sick. So it's actually only got like I think 2 or 3 carbs and 1 gram of sugar, which is also good for diabetics.
Queen of the Chinese buffet worried about her sugars here.
You know, and it's made with like real, I think it's like watermelon juice and like salt, like
She always goes back to the watermelon, doesn't she?
sea salt and like
Hey man, watermelon juice is good, okay? I like to get the coconut water mixed with the watermelon juice. That's actually pretty tasty, but I've never recovered from something like this. I don't know if that would be like my only go-to. I guess if I couldn't keep anything down, I sure as hell would not be drinking Gatorade just because I don't like it. But I mean, I wouldn't be above Pedialyte or something like that, I guess. Or just straight coconut water. I don't know. I've never had to recover from this. I never have to.
more natural ingredients. There's still a few that are a little iffy, but it's for the most part they're very they're a lot
Her ring seems to fit her fine now. Do you see that? Interesting.
more natural, let's just say. So I was discharged in the middle of the night, which you know, they asked me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, I can drive. That's
You can
discharged in the middle of the night, which you know, they asked me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, I can drive. That's
You can
fine.
drive. I certainly hope you were okay to drive. Where's your family at this point? I thought you came back to Canada for all the support. Your family wouldn't go with you to the ER? I mean, you do go to the ER a lot when you come home, so maybe they thought there wasn't a need. Actually, that's a little bit mean of me. It is quite contagious, so I guess I could understand them not wanting to be in the car with her.
Feeling a lot better. I think the hydration really helped, and honestly, I was I'm really craving like pickle juice, which also is apparently good for like electrolyte replenishment.
I mean, it's high salt. I had a friend who had really low blood pressure, and her doctor, you can buy like pickle shots of just pickle juice, and her doctor recommended taking some of those to get a salt up.
I used to drink the black. Okay, so you can buy black olives in cans around here, and when I was a kid, I used to drink the olive brine out of the cans, which is atrocious. Well, I mean, it was delicious, but that's kind of the point. But so when I get really bad, I don't crave pickle brine like some people do, because I was never a big like brined pickle eater. But I will crave that the black olive brine, which I'm willing to bet is roughly the same kind of salt content, just doesn't have the vinegar in it. Would I make a habit of drinking either of them? Absolutely not.
I don't necessarily think with all the other problems Foodie has, she needs to be pushing that too much.
Because of the high sodium content, but like I was just like craving going into like, you know, a Canadian grocery store, like no frills, and just grabbing like no name brand big jar of dill pickles and
She is going to use this as an excuse to eat nothing but salt for the next however many days.
just downing the juice, like having an emergency jar of pickles in my bag.
I'm not gonna.
An emergency jar of pickles. Even she thinks that's ridiculous. Look at that face. That is the face of someone who thinks what they just said is absolutely ridiculous.
I'd laugh so hard. Wouldn't that be a perfectly Foodie thing to do? Open your bag to get your wallet. What's that? My emergency jar of pickles.
I mean, I used to carry around an emergency jar of hot sauce, so I don't have a lot of room to talk. It wasn't a jar, it was a bottle. But I kind of gave that up after college, so.
That's not a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea, but I kind of want you to do it.
Anyway, I should start a pickle company.
No, I don't need cat hair pickles, thank you.
Am I kidding? I can't even get up before noon on a good day, or before 3. Well, sometimes, yes. I've been sleeping a lot, like for days. I've just been resting in that because this flu just
How many days? She just got released from the hospital. How many days has she been sleeping? Like, granted, it's the hospital. I don't think she was doing much of anything else because it's the hospital, but
just makes you feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck, like 18-wheeler. So yeah,
Safe to drive though.
fun. Anyway, I'm sticking around for a little while because I had some plans that were like pre-booked with like, you know,
Medical
friends and
professionals.
family. Yeah, I have friends. You guys are always shocked by that.
She has Pete's, and even that's iffy.
I don't have many, but
Yeah, Pete's.
actually I do have a lot. I just don't keep in touch with a lot of them. So
then they wouldn't be friends, would they? They'd be acquaintances at best. There's nothing wrong with having acquaintances over friends, in my opinion. Like, And acquaintances can be just as good as friends if you're in a pinch, right? So there's nothing wrong with having acquaintances. But to elevate them to the level of friend, I don't know. I think you should maybe ask first, because friend has a whole lot of other like baggage attached to it. Not that it's bad. It's just like I expect more out of a friend than I do out of an acquaintance. Maybe I'm weird.
Then you don't have a lot of friends.
Or not.
You had friends at one point who you're no longer in contact with. That's not the same. I mean, if we look through the history of my life, through all my school, all different places I've lived, well, I got a ton of friends, but I don't talk to them. Well, then that's not really friendship, is it?
I have some things to take care of, some medical appointments and things like that, so...
This is irritating because she's still not paying. She's paying back taxes through a payment plan, so she's not so much choosing to pay as was forced to pay. She's got no plans to pay this year's taxes because she was in Kuwait and it's tax-free, even though she admits she was border hopping and therefore as a tourist would still be liable for Canadian taxes.
Yeah, I don't know how Canadian taxes work, but that wouldn't fly here in the States. So I mean, Canada is a much nicer place, like friendlier place than the US, but I imagine they still want their money.
But let's stay a little bit longer in Canada so that I can go to medical appointments. And the therapy appointment on the 18th, that's going to be a useless waste of space because what, she's going to have one appointment? You can't tell me she's going to be doing it over the computer from Kuwait. Like, that is something you can do. I have one of my neighbours does her therapy over computer with her therapist in Hungary. But you cannot tell me Foodie is going to do that. So if
that works for people, that works for people. I am so sorry about the pause screens, but I can't even do like a phone appointment with my therapist. If I can't see my therapist face to face, then I just cancel the appointment and make another one. And they've offered several times to do like video or to do just like a phone conversation. I'm just like, it won't have the same effect if I'm talking to you on the phone because I don't like talking on the phone. I'll talk to a computer all damn day, but not the phone. That would be crazy talk. So it just doesn't work for me. But you know, if I were to like move to another state and I still had the option to continue to work with this therapist, I probably still would, to be honest. I would probably try and find a way to make it work. But that's just because I've been with this therapist longer than I've been with any other therapist. So I'm kind of like committed at this point, I guess. So I can understand, like, I guess my point is I can understand why someone would want to do that. It's not BetterHelp. That's all I really care about.
If she goes, which she probably won't, what a waste of an appointment. If she doesn't go, what a waste of an appointment. But no, she'll stick around and get what she can out of the system.
I will probably like do some live streams, I'm not sure, and I'll do some more videos for you guys, more vlogs. But
more driving clips with music in the background.
I am still going back to Kuwait, and so I'm just like rearranging my life right now, basically, and I'm just overwhelmed. And just having the personal space, like not uploading as frequently, is like really helping. So
she didn't have a choice about the first week, and you cannot tell me after she raged out that she wouldn't have uploaded in the last 3 days. She was filming when she went to New York. She wouldn't have uploaded in the last 3 days if she had been physically able.
I appreciate your guys' patience. I know a lot of people
Patience? You said you were leaving.
you look forward to and depend on my videos.
Oh, you depend on my videos? Yeah. I
apologize again. Depend? It's kind of like when Amber said in the first video, like, I don't want to get copyright struck, and I don't want my reactors to get copyright struck either. That won't be good for any of us. It's like, I'm glad that you're admitting that this is like an ecosystem here, and I guess I'm glad that you're looking out for me, but as Alex pointed out, I'll just edit it out. I know how to edit. Like, I know how to do that part. I have to do it with freaking Anna's videos all the damn time. So, but thanks for the thought, I guess.
No, everything I've seen online so far has been people begging her to come back.
So yeah, so I'll be back whenever I can. See you guys. Bye. Masalama.
Bye. So yeah, went exactly as we expected it to. She went off for a few days, came back with a medical emergency, and now she'll be back in live stream at some point. We can expect, it's the 11th right now. Yeah. What kind of content is she going to bring from Kuwait? So you can expect over the next few days, I would imagine, an increase in content, her trying to throw out vlogs, her going live a lot just to try and get some views and some money up. So I guess we've got that to look forward to.
I'm interested in when she goes live. I don't know, because I know her lives can be as long as mine. I probably will not react to them in their entirety just because like that would be insane. But I know that Milk Tea uses a couple of different creators who will cut things down. One of them I believe is barbecue chicken. I could be wrong there. But I do plan to continue reacting to these, but I will probably be reacting to edited versions of it. So I don't think I'm going to react to Milk Tea every time, because Milk Tea doesn't necessarily always react to the video itself. She sometimes will just do like summaries, which I also like. I like those as well. So if I continue to do this, I will probably be getting compilation cut down kind of things and just trusting the judgment of others to pull out the truly important bits for me. Because I know some of her lives can be very, very long. But anyway.
It is Thursday. I am back to school on Sunday, so I'll cover what I can cover. It depends how it goes.
It's so weird hearing her say she goes back to work on Sunday. It's like, but it's Sunday. It's the weekend. Why are you working on Sunday? Because they're not a Christian nation. That's why.
But thank you for being with me here and now, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Nope, stop. All right. What did we learn? What did we learn? We learned that Foodie has what I'm going to call two distinct personalities, not in that kind of a way, but in like the way that she presents herself online. She has Miriam and she has Chantel. And Miriam is the better version of Chantel. I'm not saying that Foodie herself has like a mental split. I'm saying presentation wise, she presents two different characters online. So there's that. It'll make a little more sense the more of these I do, when we can actually point out when she's portraying Miriam and when she's slipped into Chantel. Because Chantel is like the default character. That Chantel is the character that's been developed over the years through the Foodie Beauty brand. And Miriam is new. Miriam is the revert. We didn't really do too much with the religious aspect, which I kind of was hoping she'd talk about a little bit more. But it's Eid in real life, in real time, which would be the 11th of April. So I don't know if Foodie's videos are caught up with real time, so it might still be Ramadan for her. And I know that when you're sick and stuff, that there's like allotments within the practice of Ramadan. Feel free to inform me down in the comment section down below, or in chat right now. That's fine. I'm just fishing. But I'm assuming if she got sick like this, especially, that there would be some allowances towards observation of Ramadan. But I mean, Eid is coming up for her, I would assume, at this point. Her weird trip over the border into like upper state New York is sad to me. It's just like, it really did feel like she just found like the first truck stop she could find, and she was just like, this is where I live now. And I feel like if she'd just driven like maybe an hour further down, she would have come to New York's got some really cute little towns and stuff. I mean, it's one of the older states in the country, so I mean, it's got some personality going for it. It's just, I don't feel like where she stopped was it, man. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot to take away from this video as far as like anthropologically, only because the majority of this was dealing with Foodie in the hospital being treated for the neurovirus. I mean, we all go to hospital when we're sick. So when we're that sick, most of us. All right. When you're outside of the US, you typically go to hospital when you're that sick. If you're inside the US, you probably find a small hole to crawl into and just pray it passes you over, because that's how we do that thing. We do that here. So I guess in that aspect, it was kind of interesting to see how someone who does have access to government provided healthcare would react in that kind of a situation, which you would assume would be how a mostly rational person would react in that situation. So that, I guess that was interesting to see. Cultural differences, if you will. Trying to think of the rest of this. There really wasn't a whole lot to pull out of this one as far as like the dark anthropology lens, just because like I don't feel like she was reacting any differently than somebody who was actually sick would have reacted. I mean, yeah, we can go back to the ring falling off of her finger and just Foodie's a liar, liar who lies, but it's just such a oddly specific thing, kind of like Milk Tea said. It's so detailed that like it's not something that you would necessarily think that someone would make up, especially when there are logical reasons for why it might have happened, but Chantel. So we have that. And that's pretty much all I've got. All right, if you've made it this far in the video, I would say put a ginger ale in there, but there's absolutely nothing close to a ginger ale as far as a... Is there a ginger? Oh, that would be funny. All right. People are going to hate me for this. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and put a ginger down in the comment section. It can either be the plant or a person. It's fine. My partner's a ginger. I'll hear about this later. So yeah, that's your emoji if you've made it this far in the video. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm going to try to react to Foodie a little bit more just because I am finding the border hopping thing interesting, but I'm probably going to be using other compilation channels unless it's another quick video, kind of like an actual traditional style video like she did for this. Otherwise, her long ass live streams, I'm probably going to get somebody who can break those down for me. To wrap up this video, your emoji is a ginger, either the plant or the person. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Foodie Beauty reactions going forward. And I will see... Oh, thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you to my chat. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit a thumbs up. And I will see everybody in the next one. This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.